Hello everyone, Happy New Year and welcome back to Pixel Maven's Retreat. I'm so glad to be here with you for another new project tutorial video. And today I'm working on a Festive Friday project that is our latest challenge, Festive Friday challenge number 50. And we came up with a great theme that will help you get started with your artistic year. The theme this challenge is Inspire Your Heart with Art. And we have 10 items in our inspiration list. And you just need to pick 3 of them to create a project and link up with us to maybe be picked one of our festive faves in about 10 days. So I picked 3 items from this list, and I picked die cuts, washi tape, and an inspiration sentiment. And you can see all of that on this card. So I've got the die cuts, these big letters. The washi tape here is on this piece of cardstock, and of course an inspirational sentiment. So proud of you. So I'm so proud of you for keeping up with your creative projects, and I hope to see you linking up with us. So let's get started on this project. I know you're just going to love it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is that background blend that you saw on the project, and I'm using the Delicata pink shimmer ink and just the re-inker. Now, for some reason, I don't actually have the ink pad for this. I only have the re-inker, so never fear, this actually works either way. So I'm just going to take this shimmer ink and put a big dollop on my work surface here and just grab it with a little sponge dauber, and you can use any kind of sponge dauber. If you prefer the brushes, you can use those. You can use the small daubers, you can use the domed foam blenders, whichever you like. I'm just using a small one today because I already had it inked up with this shimmer ink, and I'm just going to make this beautiful kind of pink cloud here. And you can see that right away I'm not really getting an even coverage, and that's okay because it has this shimmery effect to it. I'm getting it down and then I'm laying it out, spreading it with the sponge dauber as I go here. And I'm not really looking for an even coverage or a big, cloud that fades out or anything like that. I wanted to kind of have a little bit of texture in here. So that's why I wasn't concerned about what kind of tool I was using to apply the ink. So I have this cloud on here. It looks pretty good. I have some texture to it. So it really does look like a cloud or a poof of cotton candy or something like that. So much of it's going to be covered up really that it's not going to matter too much. So this is a great project if you've never done ink blending before, to give it a try because it doesn't have to be perfect the first time out. All right, so I've got that on there, and it has a really nice, subtle shimmer to it. And I wanted to add a little bit more texture to it. So I'm just going to take one of these watercolor pens. And this is a water-soluble ink. So I'm just going to grab up the rest of this with my pen here and make it really soupy. I'm going to open this up so I have a pretty flat surface. And then I'm just going to add some spatter on here, just some flicks. And if I want some bigger drops, I just grab more of the ink and then just let it drop off the end like so. And that gets me that nice kind of spatter. It's tone on tone. It looks really, really subtle but beautiful. And these are going to dry into these gorgeous silvery blobs. And that's going to look really great on this project. So I wanted to do this first so that we could set it aside to dry. So we'll do that and we'll move on to the other parts, which are super simple. All right, so now we're just down to putting this element together, and it will come together very quickly. So I already have the die cuts die cut because I think at this point you really know how to put those together. If not, check out some of my beginner videos on die cutting. So I have the large S. This is the Mega Alphabet S from Altenew. And believe it or not, there is a right side up. So you're just going to kind of want to make sure, like if I put it this way, I can tell that the S really isn't the right side up. The top looks bigger than the bottom. So if I put it this way, it looks more like the correct S. So when you're putting these together, make sure of that. The O is from the Caps Bold alphabet, and that is like the whole alphabet. So all of those come in one die cut set. And I grabbed an O, and those are just going to go together like so. So just take a moment to put a little bit of glue right there. and adhere them together. And then those will be ready to go. It's nice to have a grid to work from. So this mat really helps for that, whether you're using a glass mat or a Teflon or a silicone mat. If it has a grid on it, I always use it to align things up. So that looks pretty good. Set that aside for the moment. And when I cut this out, I saved it. I did it exactly like this so I could use this sew for another project. I don't know if I will or not, but at least I have it die cut so it's all nice and square on here, and I can use that again. All right, that's drying. Let's put together our washi tape. This is the gold string washi from Altenew. I love their washi tapes because they come in all sorts of different widths and purposes. Some of them even have coordinating dies with them so you can cut out the flowers from the washi tape. So this is a 3-inch piece because this is 3 inches. And I'm going to adhere a piece on here. Now I have a rip here, so I want to avoid that. Actually, this piece may be slightly larger than 3 inches, but that's okay, because we're just going to trim it down when we're done. So I get the tape on there, I just rip off the edge and flip it over and fold it over. And this gives you a nice secure piece. And when you're done, you'll go ahead and cut this in half. So this ends up being, well, actually a little bit more than a half. I only used 1.25 inches instead of 1.5 inches. So that's what that ends up being. So this is 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, and that will be your finished piece with the washi tape on it. So you'll get 2 out of it. It's worth it to do it because then you've not wasted your washi tape and you have a nice little element that you can use in another project, or you can die cut from it, all sorts of different things. And it's also nice that you can use different colors behind it. So this is the same color. This is the Hero Arctic cardstock. It's a really nice thick cardstock and it's a beautiful color. So I've got that done. We need a sentiment on here, so I'm going to add the So Proud of You sentiment from the Sentiment Strips stamp set from Altenew. And of course we're not going to use the word so, but I'm not going to bother masking it off. I'm just going to snip it off. So let me get some ink. So we're going to use the permanent black ink from Altenew. And I'll just ink that up on here. I've found lately that I've just been stamping my sentiments like this because they're so thin that really you only want to stamp them once. So I've been using them on a block instead of my stamp positioner. And if I don't like the way that it turns out, I just stamp it again. All right, but this looks pretty good. So I'm going to snip this down to 1/4 inch and crop off the sew and leave a little bit on the end. You can see on the sample card here that we have a little bit extra here. So I'll take care of that, and when we come back we'll go for assembly. All right, we are already at the end of our card design here, so let's work on some assembly. I'm going to take our piece of washi covered cardstock here and add the sew sentiment, and of course I don't need to go all the way on the top with the glue because that's going to extend, right? And I didn't go towards the bottom either. So I'll add that in. All right. And that will take just a little bit longer to adhere because the washi tape is such a slick surface. So sometimes that needs just a little bit extra TLC. Hold it down for a second or two, just to make sure you've got everything in place. And it looks like I could use just a little drop here. There we go. Really get that stuck. All right, and then this So Proud of You is going to go here, but we need to snip the sew off. So I'm going to get as close to the sew as I can to give myself enough extra there. And I'll leave probably about 1/4 inch, maybe a little bit more on the end. That looks pretty good. And then I can adhere that on. I'm going to leave some off of the end there because it does extend out a little bit. Got a little messy with my glue. There we go. All right. Looking good. And then we need to do some gold metallic thread and adhesive. So I'm using this brand new 1-inch foam from scrapbook.com. It has so many uses. And instead of putting a whole bunch of little foam squares on the back, I can just use this to make one long line. It comes in a 2-inch roll as well, but 2 inches obviously would be too much for this. I'll take the extra little bit and put it down there. And then they also have these double-sided foam squares. These are the large ones. As you can tell, I've been using the heck out of these. And these fit perfectly on the Altenew Mega Alphabet. So now I have this perfectly ready to go, and this would just go right on here if I wanted it to, but I thought I would add a little bit of gold thread. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit. All right, and then with the thread, this is from the Stamp Market. Love this stuff ridiculously. And I just take a whole bunch of it, a whole bunch, and I twist it into a figure 8, and then kind of twist it up on itself to give myself like this double loop kind of look. And then pop it right down here towards the end. All right, so that's what it looks like from the back side. And then when I flip it over, I just want to tuck my end here. You'll see it right here. Doesn't that look great? All right, so now I just have to pull off all of my extra backings, and this goes right on the card. So while I'm doing that, I'll remind you guys that if you don't want to miss out on any of the new videos that I post, that I would love for you to click on that subscribe button. And if you're on YouTube right now, click on that little bell, and that will give you reminders, or notifications, I should say, of when new videos come out. All right, so there we go. I hope you really enjoyed this project. It's a fun way to break into your creativity if you took a little break over the holidays. I'd love to see you playing with us at Festive Friday, so don't forget to check us out at festivefridaychallenge.com. I've got the link down below. And check out all the other great designers that participate in the challenge. We'd love to see you there. I will be back soon with another video, and until next time, happy crafting.